this is a topic that I used to be so interested in, and I think I've become way more passively interested in, and have just been reminded of its definition and the idea of it. So, the idea is prosody, and I want to talk about songs that have good prosody. But to start, I want to explain what it is, and I want to give an example of a song that I think is pretty well known to help explain what it is. So I was thinking of Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles as an example. Here Comes the Sun is a song about the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Very hopeful, and the melody's hopeful, and the guitar is hopeful, and the lyrics are hopeful, and they all work together. So that's what prosody is. It's when the intonation, the lyrics, the delivery, the instrumentation, the way that things rise and swell and release, they all work together to tell a good, cohesive story. I think Here Comes the Sun is a pretty good standard example to kind of talk about that. So that's the first thing. However, that's a very straightforward example. Good prosody doesn't have to be straightforward. It can be more interesting than that. An example of this might be one that people aren't as familiar with, but Ptolemaea by Ethel Cain. Go listen to it. She says, love you, love you, love you, love you. But it's not delivered like someone who loves you. It's excellent prosody in the context of the song because it's so creepy. It's like her voice is modulated like down a lot, and there's like, it's grainy and it's like swirling around your head, and it's very creepy. So in that context, the words love you and the delivery work together to create something that is quite unnerving. It feels very unnatural, and that's also good prosody. So yeah, it's just really cool to think about like the variety of how you can do something. I've also seen prosody just be used to describe someone's style, the way that they deliver things, and like how they like do it distinctly in a way that is very much them, the way that they emphasize. I think someone who has very like unique and potent prosody, if you could even say that, is Bob Dylan. The way that he's like the way that he like throws his voice, and the way that he like sounds like he doesn't really give a fuck, but it also sounds like he gives a fuck about not giving a fuck. It's very Bob Dylan. It's very distinct. So yeah, that's also something to think about. It's like developing your own prosody. So the two songs that I wanted to talk about today are both songs that I think you should listen to, that are really good, especially if you like stuff that is slow and bordering on ambient. First one is Solstice by Atma. That's Aatmaa. Very, very good song. The album that it's off of, Cataclysm, is really good. I recommend listening to the whole thing. Top songs on it for me are Solstice, Dementia Pending, that's a really good one, and Her Stoning. So this song, it starts with just this really sad sounding synth, almost sounds like maybe like an organ or something, and it sounds like a conclusion. Like the beginning sounds like a conclusion. I feel like I would hear it start at the end of a movie as the scene, like as the roll credits scene, whatever, plays. So this song is about someone leaving. Let me pull up the lyrics. Oh my god. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we lay here too careless to notice. Come back, my solstice. The way that the lyrics are delivered, I don't know how it was produced. Like, she sings them so slowly, like impossibly slow. It feels like you're like pulling teeth trying to get her to say it, which makes me wonder if it was recorded and then like slowed down. But however it was done, it is beautiful. It adds such a unique ambiance to the song. Like, it just like creates like a very like intimate environment. It makes me feel like I'm like watching someone in a moment where they're like speaking to like God or like their therapist or like a priest or something. Like, it makes me feel like I'm just like a fly on the wall in like a very intimate moment for someone. But yeah, it being slow and it feeling like you have to like pull the words out of her when you're listening, it's really good because it's about someone who is bargaining, someone who knows that it is over. It's so over. This relationship with this person is over, and it's so sad to the point where like I don't know if this is just like about someone who died, but then it's so sad to the point where it's like even worse than someone just dying, if that makes sense. Like, it makes me feel like this is like an opportunity that has ended for someone, like a relationship that they've lost. There's something has cost them this person, and it might be something like somehow more tragic than just death. Like, it's not as simple as that. I don't know. But yeah, she says, we lay here too careless to notice. Come back. And when she says come back, the melody goes up. She says, come back. And there's a pause, and it makes me feel like there's like an invitation. Like, it's a question. Come back? My solstice. I think calling someone your solstice is such a beautiful thing. There's something really devastating about that. Like, you are like my most light-filled day of the year. Like, But yeah, beginning is glum and succinct and straightforward storytelling. Like, that whole part, she says, your cheeks are so cold. We laughed last night. It made us cry. I did not say goodbye. And this whole part is just kind of said, and it's delivered, and it's slow, but it's kind of straightforward. It sounds like a story, and then something changes after she says, I did not say goodbye. Like, it's almost a reminder where it's like, wait, like, I'm saying come back, but like, it's over, and I did not say goodbye. So now she feels like she must bargain. What if I wait today? What if I wait? Wake up, my love. And here, her voice breaks. Like, it sounds like she's screaming, but it's also so quiet. And that's really good prosody. Like, the instrumentation starts to swell, and the melody rises, and things get tense, and it sounds like she's like holding back a tsunami of emotions. And she says, tell me it's all right. I can't say goodbye. I miss you, love. I can't move on without you here, I'm without you. And after she says, I'm without you, the song just kind of fades out, like the vocals fade out, and then this screech, this like tinny, almost sounds like some like metallic sound comes in. And to me, what I hear that being the loud space, like the loud absence of someone, you know? Like, I don't know, you know when you're listening to something really loud and when you turn it off, like there's a sound? I might just have tinnitus, but there's like something that fills the void of someone, something that might just like almost sound or look like an exclamation point over like their absence. And that's what that sounds like to me. And the entire song, like, it's such a delicate mix, it's such delicate delivery, but it works. And that is what I think makes someone's like songwriting pop and like their lyrics really hit hard, because there are lyrics on this that hurt so bad, and I don't even know if I can like convey it to you when you like hear me speak it. Like, it might be like whatever, but if you listen to it, you would understand. And I think that that's really important. Like, the fact, like, saying, I can't move on without you here, I'm without you. That could be a fucking Nothing Burger song. Like, that could be like, okay, I'm without you. Like, yeah, anyone can say that. That isn't really like a new profound way to say something. But the way it's delivered is. And that makes it special, and that makes it worthwhile, and that makes it unique. And I think it's important for artists to embrace that and to remember that that's what sets them apart, because I think oftentimes people feel this need to be very, I don't know, well read. And I think it's good to be well read, but to sound well read, even if you're not, to sound super smart, to sound super different, to sound super educated. And it can kind of, it sounds like someone who, like, it sounds like I tried to write like the Duino elegies or some bullshit. Like, it's like you are like writing so above like your level. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, I think people need to embrace simplicity in the name of like genuine emotion. And I think that that's something people shy away from, and they try to write these like elegant metaphors that often don't mean much, that often don't have much to dissect, but they are something that you can hide behind, and this song rejects that, and that's good prosody in my opinion. The next song is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's VOCE. I don't know if it's Vos, but the song, she says, "I can't hear your voice." So I feel like, I don't know what the story is behind that, but I'm really intrigued. But it's VOCE by Hillary Woods. What's this album called? This album is really good. It's the one with the pink cover. I think it's the newer one. I really like this album because it's called Night Crew. It's a good album. It's like very like, it has its own world. It has its own textures and sounds, and it's a very cohesive piece. Like, it's a good one to like listen to, like just like front to back if you're like doing an activity. Like, it's kind of like dragging a dead deer up a hill by Grouper in that way. This song, the beginning, in my opinion, there's some type of instrument. I feel like it's a string instrument. I'm so bad at this. It sounds like a dirge. It sounds like what I would hear at a funeral, and it feels like grief, very much so. This song is also so good. It is also like simple, but if you really look at it, the way that it approaches the songwriting is quite unique, and I really appreciate that. So it starts with this just heavy sound that makes me feel like, okay, I'm sitting at a funeral, I'm waiting to see them like walk out like the love of my life. Okay, well, that's great. And then the vocals come in, and they're heavenly, and they're occupying, because the beginning is just so low end heavy, like it just feels like the pit in your stomach, and it's dragging you down, and it's so heavy that you like are unaware of all of this space up here that is not being occupied, and the vocals come in, and they take up that space, and they take on the center of the stage. And there are only 2 lines in this whole song, and they loop and loop and loop, and it's, "I can't hear your voice, don't know what it feels like." Oh my god. And it's just, oh, come on. So it's that, and it loops and it loops, and it's the heavenly vocals, and then here comes this drum, and it's like this just dragging, and it makes me feel like I'm like walking through like a graveyard in the rain, and I'm dragging my feet, and you're dragging your feet, and you're singing the same song, and then more vocals come, and the instrumentation has these turns it takes where it's like beautiful, beautiful, and then there'll just be a note where it's like, that's really fucked up, that's gross, something's wrong. Like, we do have heavenly vocals, but also something is like super, super wrong, and like that's kind of obvious when we look at the lyrics. And it also swells, and it stretches, and there's a lot of moments where there's like a lot of tension. And to me, what I think of, like the way that I think this has good prosody, is that the vocals, the lyrics stay the same, but there are more vocals that are added, and the drums that are just like a slow sludge walk through the mud. You're collecting stuff as you're walking, as you're dragging your feet in the same cycle, in the same problem where I can't hear your voice, don't know what it feels like, and it's the same thing, and it's just accumulating, and it's just this one simple thing this one simple problem I have, not being able to hear your voice, but that's it. That's it, and that's the problem. And over an extended period of time, I'm like gaining like layers of pain or resentment or like trauma that is like caking onto me, and you can hear it, and I've like made it more pretty in some ways, and then there are other ways that it just sounds like profoundly disgusting. Yeah. And I think that when you like dig into that layer of songwriting, of like how all of the sounds really paint a picture together, and they can create like this kind of like loop back and forth and inform one another and inform your understanding of one thing, which it just like it makes a song that is recorded and finite and done and finished into something that is lush, that feels ever changing and has way more to dissect. And I think that what's interesting is I don't even know how conscious all of these decisions always are by a musician. I think that some of them are, and I think some of them aren't. And good prosody is what matters above anything else, above how good of a vocalist you are, or how good at an instrument you are, how good your production is. Prosody is what matters, and obviously the better you are at any given thing, you have more potential to do more. But like, you could be the best, like most skilled and knowledgeable producer in the world, but you could create something soulless. And someone who can play like 2 chords on a guitar could create something that would be like infinitely more meaningful. And this is the X factor of what it is. It's the delivery and its relationship to everything else in the song. Thank you.